Hi guys, it's Akira for Spiritual Japan Connection. So this channel is all about connecting Japan and the rest of the world through spirituality. So if you like the idea of spirituality, consciousness expansion, psychic abilities, universal laws, or open contact with extraterrestrials, and at the same time, if you want to connect with the Japanese culture or Japanese people or Japanese energy, this is the right place for you. So if you're that kind of person, make sure to subscribe to this channel and also join the free community from the description box below, where you can get information about the events, where you can actually interact with Japanese spiritual friends, including myself. So today's topic is a pretty profound one actually, because it really touches on the deep essence of Japanese energy and what Japanese people are, and how Japanese closely relates to the spirituality and also ascension process as humanity as a whole. One of the things that you cannot really miss noticing when you actually physically come to Japan is the quietness, is the silence in the public spaces, especially when you're in a train. It's like you're in the library, which is quite different from other countries, right? But this is not really just the case in transportation, but most of the public places are pretty quiet in Japan. And many people outside of Japan wonder what's going on, why people are so quiet in Japan, right? And many people may assume that Japanese people are just shy, or maybe you get punished when you really speak out loud in public spaces, etc. But in actuality, that's not really the reason why we are so quiet in public spaces. And this silence actually really connected to our human evolution. And here's the actual proof, for example, for you to understand. I'm sure a lot of people watching this channel know about Bashar, right? Extraterrestrial entity channeled by Dario Anka for the past 40 years or so. And actually Bashar is the major reason why I sort of get into this world of spirituality and universal laws in the first place. And when you look at the video of Bashar speaking through the channel Dario Anka, he's very outspoken, he's very direct, and he's very funny, and he's very loud, and we get this impression of, extraterrestrials are so powerful and funny and very talkative, all that kind of stuff. But here's a trick that many people may not be realizing, is that the fact that in his hometown, which is Esosani, another planet that is in different dimension from Earth, in that civilization, actually they don't really speak verbally like we do in communication. But instead what they use is the telepathy. So they don't use words, but they just use vibration, invisible, non-physical vibration between heart to heart. So what Daryl is receiving is just a vibration, and because it's so powerful, because it's so universal energy, that is how energetically translated through this kind of vocal channel and made it into a voice, made it into the sound. But the original vibration is actually soundless. It's just a vibration. So it's really a telepathic communication that's originally happening, and Japanese people are using exactly that protocol in communicating among people. They don't really have to use words as much as people outside of Japan uses for their daily communication. And another thing that I really want to mention here along this line, which is also important for human evolution, is that there's another entity that Daranka actually channel besides Bashar, whose name is Willa Hilakrising, who's actually a hybrid being living on Earth 700 years in the future. And in one event, this Willa explained about consciousness of a human species relating to Gaia, the Earth consciousness. And we humans tend to think that we're on the top of the hierarchy, so to speak, on the earth, and below comes the animals, and below comes the plants, and below comes the soil or rocks or minerals. That's what human tends to think of themselves in the hierarchy order, but what Willa explains is actually the reverse. From the perspective of Gaia, the earth consciousness, minerals comes on the top as a hierarchy, and then comes the plants, and then comes the animals and humans. So as a human species or being on Earth, we are actually coming from the minerals and plants. And there are tons of wisdoms for humanity to thrive if we tap into the information going on in this mineral world and also the plants world. And here comes the silence part. When we sort of communicate each other, we use the words and logic and all that kind of stuff. The more we rely on these things, we are more separated from those plants and mineral world. But as you become more quiet, become more sensitive to a higher level frequency or non-ego level of frequency, then you begin to tap into those wisdoms of minerals and plants. And as I explained in a different videos about the uniqueness of Japanese, one of the traits that Japanese people have is a strong relationship with nature. We have a very, very special and close relationship with nature, and you probably guessed by now that Japanese telepathic ability is really closely connected with the connection with nature, the minerals, and the plants. They use a telepathic communication through non-ego consciousness. So I think this is a major reason why the spiritual oriented people loving come to Japan, because Japanese energy is like that. We're sort of almost evolving into that kind of non-physical level of communication already, telepathic communication that I've mentioned, which happens not just between human beings, but with nature, and also insects and animals included. So I think connecting with Japanese energy or Japanese people, I think will help you to develop those telepathic communication with different beings. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, and I hope you like it. And my partner Seiko can actually speak with trees and also crystals. So I'm thinking of bringing her to this channel and introduce her to you guys so you can actually interact with her energy. And in the next video, I'm planning to talk about most profound power that Japanese people have, along with this telepathic communication. So please look forward to this, and also planning to bring a very special guest who are very famous in Japanese spiritual field, and I'm very, very excited that I'll be able to introduce her to you all on this channel. And so make sure to subscribe to this channel and also join the free community from the description box below. So thank you for watching, and I will see you at the next Spiritual Japan Connection.